Hey, I'm Deana King, and I'm from Hamptonville, North Carolina. Currently, I am the safety monitor at Starmount High School. Been there 2 years. Really love it. Being around the kids and the teachers and the admin, and basically being around in the school environment. And another thing that I also do is I run the NC Preps website, and I've done that for several years since probably 15, 16 years. Covers all the high school athletes in the great state of North Carolina. So, love sports, love being around, doing things with my family and everything. So, just a country girl.
So, Dana, what's one thing that the viewers really need to know about you that even people that do know you, they know, but what's the one thing that makes you interesting?
Well, most of the people know me that I just said, my life's revolved around sports ever since I was able to pick up a ball. I've played ball ever since I've been 4 or 5 years old until I finally, health reasons, decided to stop playing in my in my 40s. So that's been a big part of my life. Played ball at West. I went to West Shakin Elementary, then went to Starmount and played all three sports. Played volleyball my sophomore and junior year. Played softball my freshman, sophomore, and senior year. My junior year, I was hurt, but I still did the scorebook, kept score and everything. And then basketball played all 4 years. And then went on and played, earned a athletic and academic scholarship to Wingate College, which is now Wingate University, and played college volleyball for 2 years and college basketball for four. And I even walked on to play college softball. And I'm old school. I love my old slow pitch softball. I really didn't enjoy the fast pitch game because I'm, old school. So, but then, graduated, come out back to Yakin County, worked at Unify for 13 years. And so, done a lot of odd things and everything. Worked with my website, NC Press, delivered Elkin Tribunes, and end up now I worked at Lowe's for about 6 months up in Wilkesboro, and that wasn't. If y'all know me, selling things is not very. That's not Deana. So I hated doing that. But I'm over at Starmount. Like I said, second year, really enjoy it. And but you know, most of the people know that about me. One thing they don't know was when I was little, I actually played the piano. And my music teacher, she would get so mad at me because I'd had lessons, and I would go over there, and she was like, "Deanie, you didn't practice, and what's up?" And I really didn't say nothing, And she's like, "Do you not want to play piano? Would you rather play ball?" I'm like, "Yeah, ma'am. I'd rather play ball. I'm done playing piano. I'm done." So that was it. My playing the piano day was over. So that's one cool fact about me. I used to play the piano.
When you think back, I better hold the mic up close. Sorry. When you think back, what moment or season in your life really shaped who you are today?
Well, that would have to be in high school, my junior year. Um, Most people know that um, my junior year at Starmount, I was injured. I got injured like the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season. We had the best. I'll give credit to my teammates. We had a great group there, and we were primed to make a state championship run in basketball and softball my junior year. And for some reason that I still don't know, I went after a basketball at East Wilkes High School. Don't know why I did it. There was no way I was going to get the ball, but I went after it. And when I did, my something happened in my knee. I tore my cartilage. I stayed off of it for a few weeks, and then I tried to play down at Wake Forest. They had a high school tournament. Tore my ACL, and folks, back in '88, that was a humongous injury. Um, I got in to see Dr. Tim Taff at Carolina. He was their team orthopedic. And he bluntly told me, he called me Sport. That was his nickname for me. He's like, Sports, you'll probably never play sports ever again. Said this injury is like it's so hard to come back from. In fact, a lot of insurances, like my dad was a veteran. Champus didn't even have this type of surgery, like the total knee replacement, even in their coverage. Dr. Taff and several of his orthopedic buddies got the policy changed for them to cover that. But after a year, I came back, played starting January my senior year. But that sophomore year, I averaged a double double my sophomore year, and I was starting to get major colleges looking at me. ACC, State, Carolina, Wake Forest. I had local schools like Appalachian, East Carolina, UNC Greensboro, UNC Wilmington. They were all my mailbox was full. But when I got hurt, like all those letters kind of went away because they're like, she may never come back and play, and so I worked so hard, and that's the thing. I worked so hard because I said no. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Nobody's going to tell me that I cannot do this. I ran around the track. I rode bicycles. I lift weights, and I came back um, my senior year in January, and we went on a run. We won like 10 straight ball games when I came back, and we ended up going to the second or third round playoffs, and uh, we was playing Bunker Hill up in Lenore Rhine, and I played my best games point wise. I had 24 points and 15 rebounds against Bunker Hill, but we lost. Um, that was my last high school basketball game, and I went in the locker room, knowing that it's probably over because I came back, come out of the gym, and I saw my sister Melissa. Now, of all people, I lost. That's my last basketball game in high school. And I look out there, and Melissa's sitting in the middle of all of our cheerleaders, and they're patting her on the back, and she's just a bawling, saying, I'm never going to see my sister play basketball again. I looked up her, mom and daddy's all upset. And I'm like, I'm fine, I'm fine. And I get up there and sit down beside them, and I got somebody knocked me on the shoulder, and they're like, hey, I'm Coach Jackman at Wingate. He's like, been watching you for several weeks now, and we want to offer you a scholarship. Well, that come out of left field, and then Lenore Ryan offered. Lenore Ryan, I always pick at Melissa this because she's the tennis player winning the state championship. But Lenore Ryan wanted me so bad they offered me a tennis scholarship. I had never played tennis. I mean, I played against Melissa, but I didn't play it organized tennis. They wanted me that bad, offered me a tennis and a basketball scholarship, but I decided on Wingate because their tradition, one of the top programs in the state, basically in the southeast. We went down there for 4 years. I've won over 100 ball games there, and so but that changed me because my goal, my dream was to play basketball at Carolina. Being a big Carolina fan, that was my dream, play at Carolina. That didn't happen. I look back. What if I had went to Carolina? I would probably been lost. Basically because I was very homesick when I was at Wingate. And Wingate was like 2,000 students, and you know how big Carolina is. I would probably felt so out of place, but I look at that moment as that year as defining me because it made me stronger and it molded me to what I am today.
So you've been with Starmount. Well, of course, you went to high school there, but since you left Starmount and after your college days, you've returned. And I've always enjoyed all of your posts and your updates and your commentaries. And just explain to everybody what Starmount Sports has meant to you after, not during school, but after.
Well, I have been a Starmount football fan ever since I knew what football was. I think my first ball game that I ever went to watch Starmount was Coach Holt's first game at North Iredale, and fell in love. And Mom and Daddy would take us to as many as we could. Then when I was in school, I was buddies with all the football players. I just loved football. And then I went off to college, and that's where I didn't get to see a lot of games, but I still came back like on weekends that we didn't have a game or in state playoffs because I had a cousin that was really good in football. But I just loved watching. Just a high school football fanatic, and back in '95, I I was always an early bird. Get to the game, still do that. But was at North Iredale again, ironically, and so I'm sitting up on top row, and Coach Holt's like, "Hey, Deana, do you want to keep stats for us? Our stat person ain't here." I'm like, "Sure," and that did it. I was statistician still today, so love it. Love doing it on Friday night. Um, I love trying to get nowadays it's social media is crazy. Back when I played and everything, you just thought it was something that the newspaper or the radio was there. Now you got all these bloggers and video people and social media. So I try my best to help our kids get a lot of exposure, whether it's posting on X, posting videos, posting, everything, posting their stats, posting their, you know, info, whatever. I'm just out to help our kids. And so, I don't know. I'd probably be lost if I didn't like Starmount, to be honest.
Well, this isn't one of the questions that I gave y'all ahead of time. I kind of gave you the head questions
Oh
ahead of time.
boy, that'll make me think of this one.
No, well, let's hope. Let's hope it's a good answer. If this show takes off and you're able to make enough money to where you don't have to worry about anything else, what will that mean to you personally?
Well, I mean, technically we're not doing this for that. But we just love making people life and whatever we can do to make people's day, brighten their day and everything. But if we're fortunate for if this thing went really big, we had always talked about honoring our parents with some kind of scholarship or do something at Starmount in honor of our parents. That's one of the things we've taught. Right now, we're not able to, but if this was to go really good, that would be one of our number one, you know, priorities to do would be to honor them somehow.
But
Because
it's
if it
still,
wasn't for them, it wouldn't be no Modena. So
I think the key takeaway I take from that is it's that when when I decided to help y'all was I knew you always wanted to give back to the kids, and that was it's to me for y'all. I know it's about the kids. So
yeah, we've always went after mom and dad passed. I mean, we've gotten older. Um, there's been a couple years that we've not got each other Christmas present. We've went in and helped a needy family with help them with clothes if they had kids, some toys for Christmas, food. We it goes back from our raising. We had great parents that you know Lord, we wasn't well off, but they made sure we had adequate. And then both sets of our grandparents, they the Kings, Miles and Diet, that was my on my daddy's side, and then Philip and Emma Malden on my mom's side. Both of them, both sets were the best grandparents anybody could have. You know, Sundays we'd go up on and eat Sunday dinner. We'd go over at Grandma King's all the time. Me and Melissa, first thing we done, head to the refrigerator, see what kind of pie my grandma had. Usually apples. But, Melissa will tell you some of her favorite meals is going over there and eating some of them hot dogs Grandma fits in that little black little skillet that she'd have. Her and Daddy would go over there. So, but that's just way we was raised, and just want to help people.